it is Monday, the 1st of February today. We are in a brand new month, and this is the maths video for the Year 2 workbook. So if you've been following the Year 2 workbook, you're watching the correct video. Now we're going to start today's session with a warm-up, just like we would if we were in school. So I'm going to play a little game with you that I play with my Year 2 children in my class. So you're going to need your whiteboard and a pen for this, and are you ready? So you're going to have a go at reading my mind, and I'm going to give you some clues about a number that I've got in my head. And these clues are going to be about what the number is made of and how many tens the number has and how many ones it has. So most of my numbers will be 2-digit numbers, and you've got to write them down if you can use the clues to guess what they are. Are you ready? We didn't see my whiteboard. Okay. The first number that I'm thinking of has got, my mind, 7 tens and 2 ones. Write my number on your whiteboard. 7 tens and 2 ones. What is the number that I'm thinking of? My next number has 3 tens and 4 ones. What number is Mrs. Wood thinking of? Can you hear my mind? Okay. My next number has got 8 ones and 4 tens. I've switched it round there to try and catch you out. It's got 8 ones and 4 tens. Okay. My next number has just got 6 ones. What is Mrs. Wood's number there? Give me my mind. Okay. My final number has got 3 ones and 9 tens. What is Mrs. Wood thinking? Okay. Right. So you should have 5 numbers written down on your whiteboard. Are they the same numbers that I've got written down and that I was thinking in my head? So let's have a little look. So I was thinking of the number 72, 34, 48, just the number 6, and 93. Did you manage to correctly guess all of my 2-digit numbers and my lone little 1-digit number here? Okay, so today in our workbook, we are moving on to page 17. At the top of your page, it says fractions. So we're going to have a little look at fractions today on my board. Now, I know in Year 2, we haven't looked at fractions yet. So for lots of you, this will be brand new learning. So maths hats at the ready. So my learning question today says, can I begin to find a fraction of a shape? So I've put begin here because this is new learning. So we're beginning to find fractions. So, and we're looking at shapes. So we're finding fractions of shapes. And all that means is finding a fraction is just finding a part of a whole. So if we use the word part instead of fraction, it doesn't seem so scary. So on my board, I've got some pizza. Now, you Year 2, but I love pizza. Now, I don't like sharing my pizza, but as we're looking at fractions, I'm going to have to share my pizza and divide it into equal parts. So, if we look closely at the pizza on my board, I'm going to divide my pizza into 2 equal pieces. Just tell your grown-up how I could divide my pizza into 2 equal pieces. How do you think I could do that? So I could go, right? Okay. Could go vertically down the middle. Okay. Or could go this way. So there are 2 ways that I could divide my pizza into 2. I'm going to rub this one out because we just want it to be divided into 2 to start with. If I've got divided both ways, that gives me 4 pieces. So I've divided my pizza into 2 parts here. Now, what do you notice about my pizza and how I've divided my pizza? Are both sides the same size? Would it be fair? If Mrs. Wood had this half and you had that half, would you be happy with that? Would that be fair? I think so. So I've divided my pizza into 2. So I've divided it into 2 equal parts. So I'm going to write in my fraction 2 at the bottom. Now the bottom number is called the denominator. So we use a nice deep voice for that. So with your grown-up, say denominator. And the top number is the numerator. So I only want one part out of 2. I only want half of that pizza because the other half is for you. So I'm going to take shade in half here and take half away. So I've taken 1 out of 2 pieces away. So I've shown here 1 out of 2 pieces. So my top number is my numerator. Can you say numerator with your grown up? And the numerator is how many parts of the whole that we want. So my bottom number here, I've got 2 parts in total as my whole. And my top number is how many parts I shaded in here. So I've got 1 out of 2 parts. Let's have a look this time then at my waffle. What shape is my waffle? Tell your grown up. So I'm going to divide my shape here this time, not in half, not in 2 equal pieces. I'm going to divide this shape into 4 equal parts this time. Okay. So each part, just like the pizza, is equal in size. So I've got 4 parts in total. So my denominator, my bottom number, is going to be what? 4. Okay, so my bottom number, you can see there is 4 because I've got 4 parts in total. My whole is 4. I'm only going to eat 1 out of those 4 pieces. And we've divided this shape into what we call quarters. 4 parts are quarters. If something is in 2 parts, it's halves, and 4 parts is quarters. So I'm only going to eat 1 out of 4. So we call that 1 quarter. So my fraction is going to be 1 out of 4. So 1 quarter. Okay. But then later I might be feeling a little bit more hungry. So I might then have another part of the waffle. So then I would have had how many quarters? Tell your grown up. So not 1 out of 4 this time. I've had 1, 2. 2 out of 4. 2 quarters. Okay. So 4 is how many pieces I've got all together to make my whole. And my top number, my numerator, is the parts. Okay. What if I shaded this part in here? How many out of 4 have I now coloured in? 1, 2, 3. So this time I would write 3 out of 4. 3 quarters. What if Mrs. Wood's been really greedy and I wanted the whole waffle, the whole part, all 4 equal parts? That would be a whole. And I would write that fraction as 4 out of 4. So 4 parts out of 4. The bottom number, remember, is our whole. How many pieces in total to make our whole shape? And our top number is what part are we having? What part are we taking away? So in your workbook this morning, it will ask you what fractions of shapes are shaded. So remember, when we say fractions, we just mean parts. So that word isn't so scary when we say parts of. So let's have a look at the circle here. Just tell your grown up, how many parts have I got in total here in this circle? How many parts make the whole? 1, 2. So I know that my bottom number, my denominator, is going to be 2. But then, how many parts are shaded red? Just 1. So 1 out of 2 parts are shaded, and we call this fraction as well a half. So if something's split into 2 equal groups, that's half. What about this shape then here? Okay, look closely. How many parts has this shape been split into? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's been split into 4 equal parts. Not all 4 of them are shaded. How many parts of them are shaded? Just 1. So I've got 4 parts in total, so quarters, and just 1 part is shaded. Let's have a look now then at the last circle. So the circle on the end here, how many parts is that divided into? So it's a circle like my first shape, but it's been divided into different parts. 1, 2, 3. So we call this thirds. So my denominator here would be 3. And how many parts have been shaded? Just 1. So 1 out of 3. So I've got 1 out of 2, half, 1 out of 4, 1/4, 1 out of 3, 1/3. Okay. So that should help you with your activities in your booklet today. So you've got to, on the top, you've got to write what fraction is shaded. So like what we've done. So remember, how many parts are there in total? And then which part is shaded. Next question is asking you to split these shapes into quarters. So quarters is 4 equal parts. And then it says colour 1/4 of each shape red, so 1 out of 4, and 2/4 of each shape green, so 2 out of the 4 in green. If you haven't got a red or green pencil year 2, that doesn't matter, you can choose 2 different other colours. And the final question is a little bit like what was just on the board, and it's asking you to shade 1/3 of this shape. So there are 3 in total, and it's asking you to shade 1 part out of 3. Before you do that, I just want to show you something else. And you might have noticed this as we're going along. So my shape here on the board is divided into 4. I'll go over it so that you can see it nice and clearly. So my square there is divided into 4 equal parts. Okay, 2 parts are shaded. So I would write that as what? Tell you're grown up. There are 4 altogether and 2 are shaded. So I would write that as 2/4. Okay? Because 2 out of 4 have been shaded. Now, when we're looking at quarters, we have divided it into 4 different parts. But 2/4, if a shape is divided into 4, it is just the same if we go this way or this way. 2/4 is the same as a half. If I draw a square underneath here and I divide it into 2 that way, okay, 2/4 is the same as a half. So 2 out of 4 pieces is the same as splitting a shape in half. We've got 2 equal parts, so 2 out of 4 is the same as a half. And you might want to have a little go at using a pizza for that at home. So maybe with a grown-up, anything you've got at home, any biscuits or pizzas or anything that you can divide into, have a go at first of all dividing the shape into 4 into quarters, and then have a go at finding 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. And then when you divide that shape in half, you'll find that the half is the same as 2/4. So 2 pieces out of 4 is the same as 1 piece out of 2. Okay, hope that wasn't too scary, year 2, and that's cleared fractions up a little bit for you. We're carrying on looking at fractions tomorrow, but fractions of number tomorrow. So back with more maths tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing your photographs and how you get on. Bye.